One of the responders for this evening's program. I was both surprised and very honored. When I was informed that I was selected, I was petrified. What was I supposed to talk about? And more importantly, why should you listen? I spoke with Professor Zlokowski to get some perspective, and he asked me why I had returned to college after 11 years away from school. I had obtained a stable job with a good company. I had an ability to learn and acquire new skills, and I had an ability to apply those skills to my current position. He asked why I invested my time, and I began to think about the path I took to arrive at this evening's ceremony. Everyone's path is different, but I'd like to share my journey with you. I graduated high school in 1995 and immediately enrolled at Purdue's main campus. Now I know what some of you are thinking, yes, you're right. Next year's college freshmen were just being born in 1995. So while I spent the last 18 years completing the course requirements for my degree, an entire generation of students was doing some truly amazing things that we often take for granted as we get older. These children learned to crawl, then to walk, run, ride a bike, and if they were lucky, learned to drive a car. They learned to count objects, add, subtract, multiply, divide. They learned to recognize the strange symbols we use to represent our alphabet and the sounds that we use. And they learned to use those symbols to read and write and express their feelings and emotions. They learned to color and stay inside the lines, then draw, paint, sculpt, and design. They learned how to tell time. Then suddenly when they were out with their friends, they promptly forgot how to tell time. They learned about history, geography, the 50 states and their capitals, the 7 continents, 5 oceans, and the solar system. They even learned that Pluto may not even be a real planet. Those of you that have spent time working with young children know that teaching these things can be a long and difficult process. They do not immediately learn the value of this education, and the same was true of me as I began college. I had done well in high school, earned a GPA of around 3.6, and scored nearly 1,400 on my SAT. Up until that point, learning had come easy for me. But I was about to find out that it isn't always so easy. Not long after I began my first semester in West Lafayette, I found myself falling behind in classes. Because learning had come easy for me in high school, I wasn't prepared for the out-of-class preparation and study that was required. After only a few months, I was so far behind that I felt it was a lost cause. I tried to refocus following winter break, but ultimately fell into the same situation in second semester. After 1 year at Purdue, having passed only 2 courses and carrying a GPA of 0.64, I was dropped from the university. It was the worst experience of my life. I knew I had let down my friends, my family, and most importantly, myself. Year after year, I kept telling myself that I would return to Purdue. I wanted to put up a better fight. I wanted to conquer the challenge. But 10 years passed, and all I had done was talk about it and make up excuses for why I could not return. Much like parents teaching their children to count, read, tell time, life was teaching me a long and difficult lesson. Then in 2006, I received the motivation, the opportunity, and the push that I needed. The motivation came when I applied for a promotion to a management position. My employer informed me that I could not even be considered because a college degree was required for the position. The opportunity came when my mother-in-law offered to loan me the first semester's tuition, and the push came from my friends and family who encouraged me to give it another shot. At this point, I had no excuses left. I had to do it. I returned to the College of Technology in South Bend in the fall of 2006 with one simple goal: don't fail. That goal transformed into wanting to do well and ultimately into wanting to do great. Well, here I am. 7 years have passed since I returned to Purdue, and this time I have succeeded. It may have taken me 18 years, but I am proud of what I have achieved, and I truly value the education that I have received. For me personally, leaving here tonight means that I have changed the most disappointing event in my life into one of my greatest accomplishments. The path each of us takes to get to graduation is our own personal story to tell, but I believe the reason we come here is the same. I do not believe we come to college to get a degree or even to get a diploma. We're not here for a fancy piece of paper or the pomp and circumstance. We come to college and we come specifically to Purdue because we want to be better. My fellow graduates and I want to be better leaders. We want to solve problems, manage understand and motivate our coworkers. We want to lead our organizations and drive them to be the best. We want to be more creative in our designs. We want to understand how and why things work, and we want to use that knowledge to create things that do not exist today. We want to lead the way into the next great era of American ingenuity. In conclusion, there's a motto at Purdue that says, "We are Purdue. What we make moves the world forward." Well, guys, the time has come. We are Purdue. We must move the world forward. Hail Purdue.